guys, it's Laura. Thank you so much for watching and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I will show you how I made these cute Christmas tree decorations. So this year we have decided that we wanted to have a theme for all of our Christmas decorations, and I want to have everything in silver and white and gray. That's why I picked these fabrics. So these are hand stitched, and I made these hearts with the help of sewing machine, but theoretically you could hand stitch them too. It would only take a little bit longer. So if you do not have a sewing machine, don't worry, you can still make this project. And if you want to know how I made these, then please keep watching. For the heart ornaments, I used a cotton gray checked fabric and a simple narrow satin ribbon. I also needed some kind of stuffing, so I used an old IKEA pillow I still had at home. First, I made the pattern for the hearts. I folded a piece of paper and drew half of a heart shape on one side. Next, I cut the heart shape of the folded paper, and then I had a perfectly symmetric heart. This heart is, in my case, including seam allowance. I laid out my fabric in 2 layers and I started copying the heart shape and tried to stay with all hearts as close to each other as possible so that I wouldn't waste any fabric. And then I started pinning the sides of the hearts together. That way I made sure that the fabric would stay in place when I will cut it out and that both sides would be the exact copies of each other. I made sure the pins were not over the edges of the hearts, and once I checked that, I cut all of my hearts out. Here's what they looked like. Once the hearts were cut out, I placed 8-inch long piece of ribbon, folded in the middle inside of each heart. I made sure that the ribbon would stay away from the edges so that I wouldn't accidentally sew it through. Now the hearts were ready to be sewn together. I have sewn around the edges of each heart with a regular straight stitch. I kept the same distance from the edges so I would maintain the shape of the hearts. I left only small part open so I could turn the hearts to the good side, and I personally recommend that you would place the opening on as straight part as possible because I find it easier to stitch it together later. As a next step, I cut back the tip of the heart and then I cut the excess fabric quite close to the seam with my zigzag scissors. Then I turned all of my hearts to the good side. I always like using some kind of a tool, like for example this painting brush. Its end is quite pointy so I can shape the edges, but it is not too pointy so there is no danger of damaging the fabric. Once that was done, the hearts looked like this. I stuffed all of my hearts with the fluff from my old pillow. Here I also helped myself with the pointy end of the brush that I was using before. As a last step, I stitched the opening together, and then my heart ornaments were done. The checked hearts look really cute on my Christmas tree, especially since they go very well with my pillows on the sofa behind me. During the entire time, Hercules was guarding the pillow, so nobody would steal my stuffing. Isn't he cute? What a good guarding dog he is. For the fluffy ornaments, I used some spare plush I used a few years ago for 2 of Hercules' Halloween costumes. I will link the videos down below. I took a small planter as a guide and copied the circular shape on a piece of paper. The diameter of the planter was, I think, about 4.5 inches, which should be something around 11 centimeters. I used the paper circle as my pattern, including seam allowance. I cut the circles out of the plush. This is how the plush pieces looked like. As a next step, I tied 8 inches long ribbon pieces at the end together. I always took one ribbon piece, placed it on the edge of one of my plush circles, and stitched it in place. Next, I continued with a simple stitch around the entire circle. I gathered the edges by pulling at the end of the thread until the plush formed a round shape like a fluffy cup. And then I filled the fluffy cups with the pillow stuffing. And once that was done, I pulled the thread even tighter and I have stitched the top completely together. And then my fluffy balls were done. They kind of remind me of snowballs when I hung them on the tree. By the way, I have used white ribbon because my Christmas tree is all about silver and white. What you could do though, if you like the typical Christmas colors, you could use either green ribbon or a red ribbon instead. This is how I made the Christmas tree ornaments. So I made 12 of the fluffy balls in total and 13 checked hearts. I'm gonna use 12 of the hearts for the Christmas tree downstairs, and the one extra heart is going to be a part of one of my future projects that I have planned for this year for you guys, and I'm super excited about that. So that's it for today. If you liked today's video, don't forget to give it a thumb up. I would be also super happy if you would subscribe to my channel. You can also turn on the notifications. I have listed down below my Christmas playlist with my previous projects and all of my Instagram accounts. I also listed down below a link to my vlogging channel if you're interested in that, and 2 discount codes that I have for you guys currently. And that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys so much, and I'm looking forward to seeing you with my next project. Bye!